Hello. Um, 2014 albums. Yeah! It's really been a good year, 2014. A lot of good releases. A lot. As in, I couldn't buy them all. But I'm gonna do album reviews on CDs that I actually bought. Because I've actually listened to them and let them, soak in, gave them more than one listen, per se. After this, I'll do albums. I'll talk about albums that released, whether I listen to them or not. I'll get to that. Anyways, I'm going to start from least favorite to most favorite. And just because it's at the bottom, like at the beginning of the video, doesn't mean I necessarily dislike it. I'll let you know if I dislike it. Alright, now starting with my least favorite. This isn't necessarily an album that came out this year. It's a re-release. They called it Resurrection. I just bought it because I'm a collector, and I really don't listen to this band as much as I used to, but Avenged Sevenfold's Waken the Fallen, Resurrection. Reason why this is so at the bottom, it's really just milking the cash cow to me. It's got the regular album, and it's got demos, and then it's got a 30-minute documentary about the band and when they first started, and really I could give a shit less about what they're doing. Really, they sold out. They simplified their music. Not really much to say about this. Listen to each CD once, watch the DVD once. Probably not going to touch it ever again. That's it for that one. Alright, next one. This band a lot of people has been hating on over the years because they apparently sold out. And you're right, they did. Now, the last album I heard from these guys, A Sense of Purpose, if that's the name of it, now that wasn't that bad. I actually liked it. I hate to say it, but it's a reason why I know them. Back in the day, I wasn't too into a lot of metal, like I listened to some of it, but I listened to that album and I liked it. Their old stuff's good too, don't get me wrong. But this album, Siren Charms, I listened to it, it's not re-listenable. Like, I don't see myself listening to it again. It is completely mainstream. It just sucks. Not much. Like, I could see where they're going with it, but this is where you get this metaphor. If you're in a metal band, there's only one way you gotta think, and that is, what wouldn't Metallica do? This is what Metallica would do. And that metaphor speaks for itself. Yeah, it had some cool moments, but not enough to make me want to listen to it again. Now this band, I know a lot of people, diehard metalheads, like this band. And at first I liked it, but when I listened to it again, I found myself bored through it. Now, it had some cool moments. I mean, I might listen to it again. It's a band that I could see had some good moments in their career. We're going to go with Autopsy, Tourniquets, Hacksaws, and Graves. Yeah, it's a pretty cool album cover. Shit, how do I get it? Yeah, either way. And, yeah, I don't know, I find I feel like the band's better when they slow down. Like, when they're going fast, I feel like if they just either slow down or just went full out thrash metal, either way would be better for them. But yeah, it had some cool lyrics. It's cool what it was talking about. I get the cover basically, like, it's a cool cover. It has a zombie coming back to life, like his skin's not disintegrating, it's doing the opposite, and he's chopping off part of his arm that's coming back to life. And I kind of get that. Life sucks, and the zombie, he's lived a life, he's experienced it, and he's not happy with the life he's lived, and he doesn't want to go back and do it again. He'd rather be dead. I get that. Now, this album, it's a 50%, like 50 out of 100. It was on and off for me. Anyways, next. Periphery's Clear EP. Cool case, it's cool. Shit. It's not a bad album. It really isn't. I liked it, but there's a lot of tracks. How many tracks were on it? Like 7. But I like how each song was an idea or inspiration by each member. I get that, but there was a couple songs on there where there wasn't any vocals, and I feel like they should have had more vocals on it because it doesn't really. The singer doesn't get much chance to shine. I mean, and that's really what I didn't like about it. Really. Other than that, it's good. Now here's another one. Now, when I say when bands simplify or sell out, now I like this album. I did. I enjoyed it. I can listen to it again and again. But I feel like they skipped a big chapter in their career. Their last album before this, The Human Romance, loved it. Completely awesome. But this one, there's songs on here where you could go, oh, that's Darkest Hour. But then there's songs where you go, who the fuck is this band? Anyways, Darkest Hour, self-titled. Their first album on Sumerian Records. Yeah, I love Sumerian Records until this band released this because this album could have been a hell of a lot better. It really could have. But I still liked it. Anyways, moving along. Another Sumerian release. Here's a band that kind of did what Pantera did on their last album. Like, they had kind of some kind of a groove to it. Now, they started out as plain deathcore, and then they simplified, released, what was it, Red, White, and Green, because they're Mexicans or something. And they simplified to the point where it was hooky, and you can listen to it and you can just feel it. But this album, I just feel they kept draining that idea. They pretty much watered it down a little bit more. Now, this album has some really good parts in it. I like it. I could listen to it. But I feel like they could have done a hell of a lot better. It's not that heavy, but I'm more like, just like the last album I just did, I'm more like on the fence with it. But we got Upon the Burning Bodies, The World Is My Enemy Now, and I don't know. I just feel like their career, like, they released their first album, and then they released Red, White, and Green, where they went up a little bit. In this one, I feel like maybe it was rushed. I don't know. But it just could have been better. Still a very good album, don't get me wrong. I like it. You should like it. It deserves a listen. Here's another one. This band. Not necessarily bad, but the first half of the CD is way better than the second half. By all means. We got Volumes, No Sleep. And yeah, it has some really good lyrics. I don't like their album covers. They just don't look like gent or metal, whatever you want to call it, albums. Now, the only problem I could say with this band, their Mexican singer, whatever he is, not only does he look like a douchebag on stage and dresses like an idiot, like dresses like people that we hate, but his vocals are easy, and I feel like the other singer should just take over all of it and he should just leave. Other than that, it's a good album, but the first half destroys the second half. And that's all I could really say about it. I've listened to it a lot. I really enjoyed it. Some of the songs really helped me. And let's move on. Now, here's a band that started out metalcore, and then they went to this post-hardcore thing. And their last album before this, No Hope, the vocals suck on it. The singing's good, but the screaming, it's not growling. It's literally screaming like you stepped on a Lego. But this album, he does somewhat of the same thing. But I feel like they really improved their idea. Like, I can see where they're going with this. And I might not like the vocals as much as the old one, but they just sound they sound a hell of a lot better on this, and I really don't mind that they're doing them anymore. Like, it's not that bad. But we got the Color Morels, Hold On, Pain Ends. It's kind of a cool cover. Their first album on Fearless, I believe. And I really liked it. And there's a bunch of albums that I'm doing that not really giving awards because I can't give them anything, but if they could get an award for best lyrics, they deserve it, because a lot of these lyrics really helped me, and it really, the album speaks for the title speaks for itself, Hold On, Pain Ends. It really tells you that you might be down sometimes, but there's always going to be a good day around the corner, always. And that's what I got from the album. I listened to it a lot. I loved it. It was just awesome. Now, moving along, this band, last album they released before this was in 2008, All Hope Is Gone, and ever since then they've been milking the cash cow with like 3 different versions of a best of. We don't need a best of, okay? Everybody knows all their best songs. They don't need one. It was a stupid thing to release. But we got The Gray Chapter by Slipknot, their 5th album. Well, 5th album. They got Maybe Kill Repeat, but a lot of people don't include that with it. Now, the album was good. I feel like The Devil and I, their single, they overplay on the radio, and it's not their best song. Favorite ones, like the negative one, like that one, it really does deserve to be a single. Now, the only things I could say bad about this is they waited too long to release it. They waited way too long. Like, this album had a lot of anticipation, but then it was supposed to be released last year, which was... Okay, Joey Jordison, the drummer, he didn't drum on this. There's another thing that's bad with it. And the reason he quit the band because he said the album was already a year late, and then it's another year late, and he just didn't want to do it anymore. He's like, no, fuck this. Like, he probably just thinks that that's the way it's going to be. They're just going to, release music when they feel they need more money or shit. But, yeah, that's all I can really say. Like, they waited too long. The albums and like the thrive for it was just gone. Like, I remember around 2012, I'm like, oh, we need a new Slipknot record. And 2014, they finally released it, and I feel like it would have been blown up in 2012, but now it's this year, and they got #1 or something on there, but it doesn't deserve it. I liked it. The album's good, but just waited too long. Next album. Here's a band that, just like the Call of Morale, they did improve by a lot. And what happened to my cover? I don't know. It's fucked up. Anyways, their last album, they had this idea to do a Marilyn Manson kind of thing. A little bit like... The first half of the album was good. The second half just really sucked. It was boring. But this album, throughout the whole thing, it's cool. They improved their idea. They just got better at it. But they used to be heavier, but I just feel like they need to balance it out to where they're just not totally focused on this one idea and only have a couple heavy songs to keep the original fans there. They need to satisfy both needs. And we got Motionless Whites, Reincarnate. A lot of people hate them. I like them. If this album sucked, I was just going to be done with them because the last one was just horrible. And yeah, the songs are really improved. I could see where they're going with it, and they definitely stick out. Of all the Hot Topic bands, they really do stick out. They're definitely going somewhere. I could see where they're going. Like, if I would give you a song to listen to that can make you see what they're doing and maybe possibly get you into them, I would say Dead as Fuck. That one is really good. Generation Lost, that's good. Those are two ones that I can say. Or Wasp, that's good. Those are 3 tracks that I think you should check out before judging it. If you don't like it, whatever. But yeah, the only thing bad is they don't sound like Emotionless and White anymore. That's the only thing bad. Alright, moving along. Here's a band that definitely, it's a great comeback, and they didn't wait like Slipknot 6 years to do it. They just... Okay, I'm just going to straight up say it's Suicide Silence. It's not the album. It's their live CD, DVD, memorial show. But yeah, they definitely... It's a great live DVD. It's cool. It's got the singer from Impending Doom, Winds of Plague. Lamb of God, Ask Alexandria, As We Lay Dying. Oh, let me look because it's been a while. Oh, Job for a Cowboy, Whitechapel, the original singer for Suffocate, the dude that filled in and Bury Your Dead until the original dude came back. Well, he wasn't the original. Oh, and the singer they have for him now, Eddie on it, Austin Carlisle of Mice and Men, but they suck, and he did a horrible job. He did not deserve to be there. Rob Flynn and Machine Head. Oh, and they played Roots, Bloody Roots with Max, original of Sepultura, which was cool. But yeah, it was a good DVD. I liked it. The special features were cool. They needed to do it. The show needed to happen. There needed to be, if there wasn't going to be a new album, there needed to be a resolution. And like, they just played a kick-ass show thinking it was going to, they had the mindset that it could be their last show. And that's what I feel like really fucking rocked it. And they had a different singer for every song. And it's really cool. I thought it's different from anything else I've ever seen. Now moving along, a lot of people hate this album. Some people like it. We got Mayhem's new album. I can't pronounce it. It's Zoderic Warfare. Yeah, kind of weird cover for a black metal band. It's brown. I don't know. I like it. This album, the only thing bad I can say about it is through tracks 2 and 3, when they switch from the second song to the third song, I never noticed listening to it. I pop it in, I listen to it, and that's the only thing bad. I don't notice when it, like, I can't tell it apart. Like, when it goes from the second song to the third song, I don't notice. And I look up, I'm like, wait, what song? I'm like, how are we already on 3? I thought it was song 2. That's the only thing bad. Now, this band, they kept their kind of garagey sound, like, to where it sounds like it was a soup can that they recorded in, which isn't bad. I liked it. It keeps that, like, old school sound that in my opinion, makes a lot of people like black metal. Like, it's not all about the production of it. It kind of make it seem like a live show almost. And what's great about it, not only being a little kind of bad quality, you could still hear all the guitars and everything. Like, you can hear what's going on, which I found very interesting. I'm sorry. Moving along. This album, it isn't bad. I felt like it was rushed. And I felt like their last album, Torture, was way better. But it's still a good album. It's one you must buy. I got it the day it came out. I went into Best Buy. They didn't have them in the CDs, even though that was the day it was supposed to be out. And they went in the back to go get it for me. I made them go do it. And there's someone else there meeting me. He wasn't meeting me. There's someone else there for the same reason, to get this album. And then they went to the back, grabbed us copies. We bought them, left, listened to them. We were happy. Now, it was rushed, but it's still a good album. I feel like they need to slow down a little bit and just wait a little bit for their next... Let the last one soak in a little more. But we got Cannibal Corpses, A Skeletal Domain. It's a different cover. It's a really different cover for a band like this. It's not necessarily bad. It's still got great artwork. There's skeletons. It's death metal. Now, it's a really brutal album. It is. I like it. I just feel like they should have waited a little bit. They could have put more work into it, and it would have been even better. Still really fucking good. But other than that, just rushed. That's all I can really say. Just rushed. It has a lot of good points in it, and that's all I can really say. Now, here's another band. This band, I didn't even really listen to. Like, it's a band my dad listens to. He likes to listen to a lot of simplified music. I mean, except for Meshuggah, they're not really simplified. But, like, he likes to listen to a lot of popular... Like, he listens to a lot of old school bands because that's when he grew up, but he likes to listen to a lot of popular bands today. This band isn't that popular, but it sounds a lot like Lamb of God, but more simplified. But yeah, we got Throwdown, Intolerance. Now, I listened to an album before this, and, I thought I was okay. But, this album, I actually liked it. It made me want to check out other stuff. I honestly got it for it was the 2014 album, and I got it for $3. I just saw it, I'm like, oh, Throwdown? Oh, $3. Okay, I'm going to buy it. Went home, listened to it. I liked it. They simplify their instruments, but it's still really hooky, and I feel like I can understand where they're going with what they're doing. Like, they're just a metal band. They're not trying to impress anyone. They just want to play music they like. They don't care who thinks they suck. They don't care that they know they're not the best artists in the world, but they just want to rock out. And the lyrics are pretty good too. Some of the lyrics just make me want to really stand up for myself and not let anyone tell me what's what, and that's really what I got from it, and that's all there is to it. Good album. Moving along. Here's another band. They just released an album in 2013. And then, it was in the beginning though, and then they released one in 2014. And it was a good album, but they should have waited a little bit. I feel like if they waited a little bit, it would have had more of an impact. But it's still a good album. There's really good songs on it. The instruments are amazing. Like, it's really different. And I feel like anyone that likes melodic music should check it out. It's really good. The drums are good. There's a lot of parts in it where they do things that I honestly never heard before. Like, they do things that are really different, and besides the fact that they released it early, it's a good album. I think everybody should check it out. It has really good artwork. But we got Within the Ruins, Phenomena, right there. It's pretty cool artwork. Even the back looks cool. They're going for like that Born Osiris thing. They've been doing that. There's the only thing bad I could say about it, but they're not copying the covers. They're doing different stuff. But yeah, there's a lot of good parts in the album, and I really like it. And yeah, they did Ataxia 3. It's cool because, their instrumentals. They got Ataxia 2, I believe, on the last one, and then one before that. Yeah, it's a good album. This should have waited a little bit. Really not much more. That's the only thing bad I could say about it, is just they released it too fast. And yeah, there's a lot of good tracks on it. Like Calling Card's my favorite one. I like the Ataxia 3. Like, I like the instrumentals. Like, it's a part where you can really hear the instruments. Like, it's the instrument's time to shine. Like, it's not just about the singer. But yeah, album's really good. It deserves a listen. Moving along. I got a lot more to do still. It's going to be a long video. Alright. Now, the Black Dahlia Murder. Fool 'em All. two DVDs. They got one with the documentary and one with the live show. Now the last one released, Majesty, that made the band really popular. They had a funny ass documentary. They were just smoking weed, doing what they do, being funny, and it was better than the live DVD. This one was different. The live DVD was better than the documentary. It's good and it's bad because I bought it for the documentary. And it was still funny, but they should have made the documentary longer. I was hoping for another, 2 or 3 hour one. It was only, how long is it? It was only an hour and a half, about. No, not even. 78 minutes. But, yeah, the live show, the live DVD where they played in 2 different places was really entertaining. I loved it. But, yeah. It's just another Black Dahlia DVD, and they need to do it every 2 or 3 albums. They really do. I wouldn't be mad if they released another one. I'll actually buy that too. I don't give a shit. Here's another band. Now, they released their first one, which got me into them. What the fuck's it called? I think it's self-titled, I'm not sure. And then they released Weightless, and that I liked too, but after that I kind of lost interest. This I just bought because I found it in the store. I'm like, oh, cool, their new album. And I listened to it, and I'm like, whoa, this is way, way better than their second album. And it's just progressive metal at its finest. We got Animals as leaders, the Joy in Motion. They're an instrumental band, and I think they deserve a listen. This album, it just takes you on a journey. It really does. The guitar work on it, it's something that I feel anyone could really like if they actually listen to it. And yeah, there's nothing bad I can say about it, except for there are songs on it that are better than other ones, and you can really tell. But other than that, it's a good album, and I even showed people that didn't like metal because they don't like screaming vocals, and I showed them this and like, see, now I like that. And even though I think people should check out all metal and stuff and really give it a chance, this album is really for anyone that knows anything about music that has talent. Moving along. Now, back to Suicide Silence. They released You Can't Stop Me. Great comeback. It was only 3... It wasn't 6 years like Slipknot. It was only 3 years. And I bought both editions, and I even got the vinyl over there. This comes with the bonus DVD with them in the studio and documentary of the tour. Now, this album is really fucking good. It's definitely... They're still on the same path they were before. Like, just because they lost Mitch Lucker doesn't mean they're going to really change. And I think Eddie really was the perfect fit for this. Like, his vocal range on it is just... It's amazing. And I'm honestly kind of jealous of him. But there's still something bad to say about it. They covered Hatebreed on it. I really don't think they should have did that. That was just uncalled for. And then they re-recorded with Eddie Ending Is the Beginning. I don't think they should. I just think they should have released all new tracks. That's it. Like, they shouldn't have redid that one. Like, it takes away the whole thought of a whole new album. It's still a good album. It's an album, nonetheless. It's good, but that's all I can say bad about it. There's favorite tracks, Monster Within, Inherit the Crown, You Can't Stop Me, Don't Die. Those are my favorite ones. Oh, in Control, it has a Corpse Grinder. Yeah, that's pretty damn cool, because the last album it had Frank Mullen of Suffocation, and this one they got, Cannibal Corpse singer, and it's got the Dillinger Escape Plan singer on it too, for Monster Within, I think. Yeah, I think that's the one. I can't quite remember. It's been a month or two since I listened to it. But yeah, it's a good album. Mitch would be really proud of it, and I'm happy they released it because I was dying for new Suicide Silence, and I feel like it made a lot of people happy. Anyone that's pissed off, oh, because it's not Mitch, blah, 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 they're stupid. Moving along. Holy shit, the video's already 28 minutes long. Okay, Carnifex. We got Die Without Hope. Die Without Hope. Die Without Hope. The lyrics, a lot of people would say they're kind of depressing, but really, I just find it honest. I'm really glad that he didn't feel like he would have to write tough lyrics like, oh, I'm a badass, nothing brings me down. That anybody that says that's a liar. And I feel like this is their best release. It's something that anyone that hasn't heard of Carnifex before, I feel like this is an album that would really grab their attention and make them check out the old stuff. It has a lot of good, like, the whole album is fucking, like, there's not anything bad I can say about it, really. Other than some parts, it's hard to hear what he's saying, and some parts it's hard to hear the instruments. But other than that, like, it's still produced pretty decent. but the album is fucking awesome. There's nothing is worth checking out. I heard it on, like, I downloaded it, and then I listened to it, I got addicted to it, and I loved it so much, even though I still had it, which is a lot what I usually do anyways, but I had to go on my way to buy it. Like, I looked in Best Buy after Best Buy, and I finally found that one copy left in a Best Buy, and I fucking snatched it up real quick. Next, this one just released, Job for a Cowboy's Sun Eater. Now, this gets the best album artwork, if I would give it an award, because look at that artwork, like, it's so cool. Like, it's really cool. It mixes, like, this progressive kind of thing right here, right there, and it goes into its, like, little, like, it just mixes, like, the progressive and death metal together album cover. Like, it's not necessarily the music. Like, it's not really in the music. That album's really good. It really takes them in a different direction to where they're not releasing the same album. And the only thing bad I can say about it is the track listing. Like, the way like, it should have been reordered, because it was kind of like 2 tracks were slow, 2 tracks were fast. Another 2 tracks were fast, 2 tracks were slow, like, I feel like if they jumbled it up, it wouldn't sound like 2 albums put together. Like, if they jumbled it up a little bit to where it wasn't just like, it's just, like, there should have been more of a pattern to it. It's really good. That's the only thing bad I can say about it. Oh my god, John Davies' vocals on it are fucking... He does so many things that you wouldn't think were possible to do with your voice, and I feel like he is one of the most underrated vocalists ever, and he just does so many things that you never really heard before. It's not just... like, he does so many, like... now, you want to talk about vocal range. There's a lot of vocal range on this. And that's what I found really great about it. And some of the slow tracks really show... It really shows, like, they can do other shit. Now, moving on. Wretched's Cannibal. Now, this band is for fans of the Black Dahlia Murder. They are literally the melodic... Black Dahlia is melodic death metal. This is melodic deathcore. And they sound like Black Dahlia with breakdowns. And that's not necessarily bad. It's more like if you need more Black Dahlia Murder, like they don't have enough music, check out Wretched, because they'll satisfy your needs. And yeah, it's a really good album. There wasn't anything bad with it. I did not find anything bad with it. Everything about it was good. Yeah, it deserves to be high up on the list. I really do like it. I bought it not knowing much about them, and then ever since buying it, I'm just like, man, I should have checked this out a long time ago. But yeah, moving along. Arch Enemies, War Eternal. Here's another album where I bought both editions. Yeah, everyone's mad about the vocal change, but she's the perfect fit for it. If you check out my other video, I talk about all that. But that was before the album, and I really like it. It's one of my favorite releases by him, and the vocals are pretty damn good. There's only one track with cleans, and it's kind of weird to hear an Arch Enemy, but I don't really give a shit. It's only one track. Yeah. I don't know what the fuck that was in the background, but yeah, I really liked it. The lyrics were written pretty well. Like, I liked what they were talking about. It's one of those albums where if you just hate the way people look at you or treat you like you're nothing, it's really an album that can help you. Or if people double cross you, like, it just talks about, like, how you should really get to know someone, or at least if you're fucking going behind their back and doing the opposite of what you do in their face, like, it really puts people in their place. And I just love that part about it. The album artwork actually is pretty... I like the album artwork. It's kind of cool. You know, it's got all these pigs in suits surrounding this Reaper looking thing with a baby or something. I don't know if he's protecting them, but it's just a cool album cover. I like it. It's very talented. Now moving along, we got Behemoth the Satanist. Now this album nobody thought would release. Nobody did. Until like he was like, yeah, I'm back in the studio. And it's a cool case. Like it's got all these like clear pages, and it's got like this removable cover to where you see the actual one. It's a good album. Yeah, it really bumped Behemoth up for me. Like I liked them before, but it really made me want to listen to them more. Like this is a band that they simplified what they did, but it's better for them. Like they made it more memorable. They made it to where people that don't necessarily listen to black death metal, they can understand like why people like it. And maybe after this they went back to being, you know, really, really, really brutal, then that wouldn't be bad, because this album, for anyone that's not a Behemoth fan, they need to check it out because it will get them on the wagon with them. Now, there's the last 3 albums, because I know I missed a lot. I'll talk about it in a little bit. But here's the last 3 CDs that I got for 2014, and they all tied for me. Because there's not one bad thing I could say about them. Not one. I can't think of anything. Not anything. And I can't decide which one I like more. Like, they're all good. Okay, let's just start. Origin, whatever, how you say it. Omnipresent, I can't pronounce it, but Origin. Now, this fucking album I listen to so much. Like, it is one of my favorite technical death metal albums, and oh my god, I just fucking love it. I listen to it, and the drums are awesome, the guitar is awesome, the screaming's really fast and hard to fucking keep up with, but it's really good. Like, this man they're just like, you know what, we'll just stay with the technical thing, let's not sell out like anybody, let's just fucking go in there, release an album, and I feel like anyone that doesn't know who they are, if they listen to this, their fucking heads would be blown off, because it's just fucking brutal. Here's another band, a little more popular. Okay, a lot more popular. Rings of Saturn, Lugo Cayenne, or whatever the fuck that means. But, yeah, really fucking good. They got an alien theme to it. They're like technical deathcore. Like, they got this alien theme. Like, it sounds like aliens are playing, which is really cool. It's different. They stick out. They are a band that sounds different from anything else, and I feel like they deserve a listen. And this album, really fucking good. Like, every time you think a band's like, okay, they can't possibly come up with anything else that's that different, they do it. Like, I feel like this band, there's not one thing they can't do. Like, they can surprise you every 5 seconds on the thing, and the drumming's so fucking fast, and there's parts where it gets slowed down, but it's really good. Everybody's on par with what they're doing. And here's another one. I just bought this, but I just fucking loved it. Like, it's not necessarily like the most, like, I don't know how to say it, but we got Aborted, the new album, the Necrotic Manifesto. I don't know if that's Mexican, but I have to like pronounce it real quick. But yeah, I really loved it. It's like, I might get a lot of shit for this, but it's like Cattle Decapitation, new Cattle Decapitation with like a once in a blue moon breakdown. And what's crazy is they can do a breakdown and it wouldn't sound like a breakdown, which I found really cool, and it all sounded really different. And the album, it just fucking smacked me in the face, and that's why it's up here with these 2 other ones, because there's not a bad thing I can say about it. It definitely didn't, like the rest of, like the other 2, it didn't overstay its welcome. Like, towards the end of the CD, I wasn't going, okay, they should have stopped by now. Like, it made me want to listen to the whole, like, all 14 tracks. It's just, I just loved it. I really, 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 really loved it. And the cover's cool too. Like, it's got some great artwork. But yeah, just the 3 best CDs of 2014 in my collection: Rings of Saturn, Origin, Aborted. Yeah, they definitely deserve to be high on the album charts. I feel like anyone that listens to anything should at least check it out. If you don't like really technical music, like, I feel like if you just at least listen to these like 5 times each, your whole perspective on that would be changed. 40 minutes. Okay. Yeah. It's a long video. Okay, so albums I didn't do that I'm gonna get shit for: the new Decapitated, the new Exodus, the new Meshuggah Live, whatever it was. What else am I missing? Oh, okay, this is one that I actually listened to, and I didn't buy the CD yet because you gotta order it. Archspire, the Lucid Collective. A lot of people don't know who they are, but that's my favorite album this year. It's the best to me, by all means. Like, they're technical, and I just feel like if you listen to it, you know what I mean. And with Exodus, I only listened to half of their new album. I liked it. It's great they got their original singer back, and I think I need to go listen to it before I really decide what I like and don't like about it. And with the new Meshuggah and Decapitated, never really listened to it. There's just so much music out there that I haven't been able to really get the time to listen to it. And I usually buy a CD before I actually listen to it. If I don't, it's usually a band that I've really been waiting for. But yeah, it's 41 minutes. If you guys watch it all, thank you a lot. But yeah, I'm gonna stop talking because this is only getting longer. I don't do videos this long, but it's because I did so many. But everybody have a great day, and check out all these albums. Really listen to them, and comment albums that you think I should listen to. I don't care how underground it is. I don't give a shit. I like all metal, and I will listen to it and either like it or not like it. I'll be open-minded about it. But yeah, everybody have a good Thanksgiving and a Merry Christmas when those come up. And let's just wait for the next albums of this year, the last month after November, and see if anything comes out. I'll be listening to those too. But everybody have a great day.